What's up, everyone? This is Bray. Welcome to Breaking Through the BS. I'm the owner of Yosemite's Golden Photography, and I sit down with different people for real one-on-one conversations. Every episode is centered on one person, their story, their perspective, and the experiences that have shaped who they are. All right, let's get into some BS. All right. Okay. All right. You ready?
All right. Sure.
I get nervous every time. I think I'd get used to it by now, but it's just like...
Well, that's why I was like, the same thing. It's like, what does she find so interesting about others?
What do I find so interesting?
Yeah, or what?
Just talking.
Just talking?
You're just talking. Yeah.
So you just want to talk to people?
Yeah. So I'm going to do a quick intro. I'm Bray, owner of Yosemite's Golden Photography, and here we have Jeremy. So Jeremy, just give us a little bit of introduction, who you are, where you're from, what you'd like, the public to know about you, especially being the owner with your wife at Grocery Outlet, and we'll kind of just go into it.
All right.
Okay.
Jeremy, of course, from Yuba City. We own the Grocery Outlet here in Yuba City, along with my wife, Amy, as most of you probably already know. We've been here 16 years, owned the store 16 years, going on 17. So we're kind of grounded now.
Wow. Okay. So this is where I find these things interesting. Where were you guys before that?
So we grew up in Southern Oregon, Grants Pass. A lot of people know the Rogue River there. And then that's where we met in high school, obviously.
You and Amy in high school?
Yeah.
Are you guys high school sweethearts?
We've actually known each other since like 6th grade. So,
Are you
yeah,
kidding?
We've gone to school. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
And so,
Oh
yeah, we met in high school. One of our best friends kind of hooked us up, and
I'm a very emotional person.
We've been together for ever since. So probably,
gosh.
I would say our junior year is when we really started hanging out.
I didn't realize.
Forever.
That is so beautiful. So beautiful.
It's different. A lot of people think it's different.
It is
not,
different.
It's not normal. But I'll tell you history. My parents have been together since high school.
Wow.
Amy's parents were together since high school.
Oh, wow.
My son and his wife, high school sweethearts.
Wow.
My daughter and her boyfriend, high school sweethearts.
Oh, my God.
Their parents are also high school sweethearts. Danica, my son's wife.
Yeah.
Her parents are been together since high school. So it's a really weird web of
It really is.
everybody has been on both sides of the family, and how our children hooked up with
others that have
the same correlation, or have been together since high school. It's weird because we talk about it and everybody's like, it's odd just to find one couple, but to find a full web that just kept
and the fact
going.
that your own kids are also immersing themselves in that environment of that kind of
right. It's like they only know that way. It's really
right.
Yeah, and so it's
wow.
I guess it can be taught, but I don't know. It's just it's interesting to me because I've always wondered, like, Amy and I get along really well.
Yeah.
People don't know that. I can't even tell you the last time we've argued over anything. So
wow.
we make life is really simple.
Yeah.
I mean, we just work together. So you go to work together.
You're married and you work together
all day long.
Yeah.
And then we go home at the same time every day. So we don't really ever get a break from each other. Where some do get that break, and I don't know if that's good or bad or what, but some people need that break. And I don't know if we could, because we've done it for so long.
Yeah.
It would be really odd.
What's the longest you guys have been away from each other?
I mean, like a week. We've gone separate ways for a week, like where I had a trip or she's had a trip, or we've like when her mother was ill, she was gone for a little over a week from each other. So we had to kind of like, I had to adapt probably more than anything. I had to feed myself. Actually, I do all the cooking, but I had to like figure out what. But when I'm feeding myself, it's pretty simple, man. I mean, it's a corn dog out of the freezer. I tell you what, man, nothing better, right?
Nothing better. This is my time. I can do it.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Frozen pizzas are on point, But when she's there, I can't. I'm not allowed that.
No. So you seize the moment when you can have some enjoyment in food.
Right.
Corn dog.
We've been together forever.
Wow, that is beautiful.
We'll be married 30 years this year.
30 years.
In August.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That really is. Being in the wedding industry, I never believed it. Like they would always say, you know who the couples are going to make it and who are not going to make it. And it's true. You do know, you can figure out how this couple works together, how they communicate with each other, what the family dynamics look like. I'm the photographer. I'm there from the beginning all the way to the end of the day. I'm working more than just with the couple. I'm working also with their family members, their group of friends. I'm working with the vendors that they selected that they felt they connected the most with. And you see this big event take place and how they all communicate with themselves. There is some stress. There's some communication that needs to take place. There's also new elements that are taking place. You're getting married, usually for the first time. You want to make sure that you both immerse yourselves in this moment, but also, not I want to say please your family and friends, but you're also pleasing others. This is what a big wedding's for. Yeah. And I can tell what couples are going to make it and what not. And when they say the most extravagant weddings, the more expensive the weddings, the higher the divorce rate. And it is 100% accurate. It's all for show.
I can see that. I would understand that.
It's all for show. It's all aesthetics. And they don't focus in on what the concept of marriage really is. And that is truly the union of two people and two families coming together and collaborating in that. Even though at the end of the day, this marriage is between two people, but there's still an influence around that. The dynamic of it. Yeah. My parents were not anything like that at all. Complete opposite. They were married for 15 years and they hated being married together. They didn't collaborate as much. They didn't work like a team as you know, most relationships should be like. And my husband's family, they had a great upbringing, and mom was ill and she passed away in her 40s from heart failure. And my husband had to take care of her during all of that. And I think, you know, given the lifestyle that we have now, it kind of navigated him into that direction. But we both grew up with single parents and had to raise our siblings at a younger age and essentially allow them to have a normal environment while we're taking a little bit more of the responsibility. And I think that's how him and I get along so well. And again, we're glued
you have that connection.
Because we have that connection where his was not necessarily abandonment by choice. It was out of control, and mine was by choice.
Right.
And so when you have two of us that have very different upbringings, and we both desire the one thing is a successful marriage and being happy and living the best that you can together and growing old together, it does make everything a lot easier. And this is where I admire you and Amy. Like, I knew you guys were together for several years, and the fact that I told my husband, like, they even work together, like they don't get sick of each other. Like, this is something that we can do, you know, and I admire, because not, like you said, not a lot of couples are able to work together, let alone live together, own a business together. Like, they need that space away from each other.
Right.
And I see it in my husband's job. Like, there are people that work a bunch because they convince their family that they have to work this much amount of time, when in reality they don't. It's just an escape route for them. And they have that luxury where they can do that. But
yeah, because that's the norm, right?
That's the norm.
So they're able to use that as the excuse.
100%.
That's the norm.
Yeah. Where my husband, he's just like, I don't really need the overtime. I don't, you know, if he wants the overtime, he'll take it. But otherwise, he'd rather be at home. Like,
right.
we'd rather be together.
And that's what was good going into business together. It allowed my previous job, I worked 10, 12 hours a day, 5.5, 6 days a week. Yikes. So I wasn't home a ton either. We were lucky to have Amy's grandmother kind of help raise the kids in their earlier stages. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have to like coordinate daycare or pick up, drop off and all that, because our lives before would have been very like normal. I would say like the normal.
That is normal, yeah.
To where, you know, when we took over Gross Outlet, Sophie was in kindergarten or going to first grade when we moved here. Taylor was in 7th grade, going into 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
And so owning the business allowed us time, you know, and a lot of people don't understand, you know, how valuable the time is.
Yeah.
And we came here for that reason. It was, sure, you want to make a living and you want to be successful in business, but can you be successful in time? And time to me was something I'd lost a lot of in the previous years, maybe in my early years with our children. There was one year where I worked 7 days a week for a certain company, and because it was almost expected, and I missed Sophia's very first full year of life, right? Because we had a sitter, but I just couldn't get home. I'd start early in the morning, wouldn't get home till everybody's in bed, sleep a few hours, and do it all over again. But it was a very demanding job at the time, and I think a lesson I was supposed to learn: you're chasing a few dollars, but the dollars really equate to losing time in life, right? And so when we moved here, so let's back up again. Of course, we grew up in Grants Pass. My job there moved us to Portland, Oregon. Okay. And so I worked there we were probably there a good 8 years, 7, 8 years, I would say. Worked for 3 different businesses there, companies there. And the last one was the one that was demanding of time with a person who was very demanding, period, and expected you to whatever it took, right, type thing. And that's the first job I actually just put in my notice. I've never really put in my notice on kind of just said, I can't do this. Yeah. Because I was probably in my late 20s at that point. And to learn that you only have so much time at that point, it's a hard thing for people to learn, because you just feel, because the norm is 8 hours or 10 hours a day type thing. So we kind of sold everything and started over. I mean, honestly, I went back to an old company I worked for, and within a short time frame, we were able to move to Astoria, Oregon, up in the north coast of Oregon, very tip there. And my parents lived there. My brother and sister all lived up there. So we were able to just kind of, we bought a camp trailer. We lived on the property in a camp trailer for a good year or two and just kind of reset life.
Really
right?
reset. Yeah.
Reset life in our late 20s to early 30s.
This is before kids?
No, both kids. Both kids were there at that point. Yeah. Wow. And so all of us lived in this.
It's a big leap.
I mean, my parents' house was there. So we'd be in the house most of the time, but we kind of just slept in the camp trailer. We didn't live in it. We had running water and stuff, It wasn't like we were roughing it, but
but still, to just pick up and get rid of everything and just really reset.
Basically reset everything at that point. And then we're there probably a good, I worked for the same company there for probably another 6 years. And Amy worked in the banking industry there. And this opportunity came up. Grocery Outlet came up at this point.
Yeah, so how did this happen? Grocery Outlet. And give a little bit of insight on what Grocery Outlet is, because there's some people that have never heard of it or they've seen it. But I've shopped at Grocery Outlet. I actually grew up having a Grocery Outlet where I live. And we always liked the produce just because it was easily fresh, accessible.
Right.
And then the meat section was always great. But I grew up with one of those stores in our town.
I mean, it's a discount grocer. I mean, we buy things opportunistically, so that's why our prices are typically lower than your general grocery store. So they buy in mass bulk of package changes, or prime example is a big retailer will go, order a year in advance. Some of these guys are buying stuff years in advance. And when time comes around and they realize the margin isn't good enough, they'll just back out of the deal because they want either a smaller package with the same retail, and the consumer won't know the difference really if it's a few ounces smaller or 10 ounces smaller. And then we come in behind it because they don't want that package out in public to be sold. So we'll come in behind, Grocery Outlet will come in behind and purchase that and allow us to sell it at a smoking deal just to get it flushed through the system so nobody's aware of that package change or size change. So a lot of that happens with us. Other than that, our bread is delivered every day like any other grocery store. Produce is every day, 6 days a week. The fresh stuff comes like any other store. I try and get people to understand that. They think our fresh stuff would be the same as the stuff through the middle of the store, either has a month or two left on it rather than but everything comes just like it's made to order is what we call is made to order. So all that stuff is made to order like any other grocery store. And the goal is to save everybody some money, I guess. Right. I mean, really, the ultimate goal is, are you saving as much as you did 10 years ago? Well, no, the cost of everything has gone up in 10 years. So, but I still feel there's a significant savings if you get used to shopping there. I think people have to kind of get used to shopping it there. And Amy and I have really spent a lot of years dialing it in to try and make it a regular grocery store, like to where you can get the name brand stuff that you can anywhere else, your tortillas or your, all the made to order stuff, all the breads and, tortillas, produce, we have a full line of Frito-Lay there, just the stuff you expect at a grocery store. And then there's gyms in between is just kind of the bonus, you kind of can save money on this stuff in between. So, and ultimately you save money on most everything there, just some, it's not as much. So, I mean, that's kind of the model of Grocery Outlet is that, we've grown, the company's grown drastically. So, which has allowed our buying to be that much better. We're able to go bigger deals, so we can get better pricing and lower the prices even more to be more attractive to the consumer.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do all your grocery shopping there? I mean, you're working there
99.5%. Yes. I mean, really the only thing sometimes you need a spice we don't have or a certain like sauce to make a
more
meal.
Specific.
Very specific.
Yeah, very specific. Then you go to a general store, but you have everything there. So why not?
Yeah,
right?
We work really hard to keep
you guys have a very
there.
big wine selection, which I love going to. You guys have great deals like periodically. I don't miss those. And then you guys have a pretty big like dairy section too. Like you guys have a pretty
the
big
lunch
one.
meats and cheeses and all the way through. Our milk is delivered from Crystal Creamery, so it's nothing different than anybody else. Really. So I mean it's you should be able to get your shopping done there. I think you should be able to get some people are very specific on things, and I get it. And that's kind of been the hardest part is getting people are creatures of habit.
Yes.
And for years and years and years, Amy, have always, wondered how do you change people's habits? And it's really hard. It's hard to change even your friends' habits, and you're always like, man, our friends don't even shop here. Why?
Yeah.
But over time, you slowly start changing their habit because they're just used to driving a certain way to where they've been going the same routine for many, many years. And so, and then the other part of it is they don't really understand Grocery Outlet until you actually understand it, because you might be, wow, I really like that can of soup you had last week. Where's it at? And you're like, oh, yeah, we won't have that ever again. And you're like, oh, wow. But you can try this soup, or you can try, we may not have this dozen eggs this week, but we have that dozen eggs this week, And so we usually have the staples, everything you need, your sugar, flour, and, everything through the middle, your pasta sauces. And then we just have the deals in between that we just kind of fit in between. They're called opportunistic deals is what they are.
Yeah.
So, and that's really what our business is built on, is opportunistic part of the business.
And each grocery outlet is different. Like I go to 100%. Yosemite, and there's a grocery outlet near there, and it's nowhere similar to like what you guys offer. It actually feels a lot more smaller and a little bit more, I want to say sterile, but they don't have a lot.
Right. And so
it sounds
like we're all individually owned. So, there's no cookie cutter in the business yet. I would say they're trying to make it a little more consistent. In the last 2 years, we've worked really hard on trying to get everybody a little more consistent, so you don't have that difference, as much of a difference. There'll be some uniqueness to each store, I would say, is what will be different, but they're working really hard on getting the core items, stuff you would normally run into the store and grab, available all the time, and then still really push opportunistic, because to get you to come in and go, wow, that's a smoking deal. I bought this before somewhere else for double that, happens in our business. And that's what really like hooks people to shop there. Not that we have ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise all the time. Sure, you can do that. You can pop into any store and do that all day long. That's easy. But offering those unbelievable deals, we call them wow deals or whatever you want to call them. that's what really gets somebody hooked on the treasure hunt of coming into the store.
It is a treasure hunt.
And
I
really,
would say
that's what it is.
Yeah, it does make you go down each aisle and see what you have that is similar or better, or what you have now, or what you've been curious to try.
Right, and it changes every day. Like if you think about it, I bring in just through the middle of the store, and this is just, some people just don't understand the amount of, we bring in 36 pallets of freight.
Dang.
Every week through just the grocery part of the store. And that doesn't include deli, frozen, and meat. There's another 25 pallets a week. I mean, we're pushing probably 60 pallets of freight a week through that store.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and so, and you have to turn it all, right? Because you can't put anything else on the shelf until you sell something, right? Or you're almost out. Yeah. So it's just a wheel of just in and out, right?
Wow.
And you're trying, I mean, we're up to 1,000 people a day go through that store. So 1,000 people a day shop our store.
That's awesome.
Which is good. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of always our goal. But now goal is what? 1,200, right?
Okay.
I mean, that would be
we
fun,
go up little by little. Yeah.
And the big thing, the plants outside are huge too.
Yes.
So that's a huge draw. And, we try and take really good care of them. And that when people shop plants, I mean, it makes people happy. So if you start your shop off with buying outside before you even step foot in the store, and then you come into these smoking deals as you're walking around the store, it's
kind of win.
It's kind of an easy, it helps with the whole deal.
So what made you guys get into Grocery Outlet? How did that start?
So I was at my previous job, and the district manager I worked for probably 8 years prior left that and came and worked for Grocery Outlet. And for like 6 years, he'd call me every once in a while and say, "Hey man, you really need to look into this. You need to check this out. You'd be the perfect guy for this." And we were in our early 30s probably, or right around 30, I would say, years old. And one day I just said, "Let's check it out." So he came out and took us to lunch, and we kind of just talked about it. And back then, Grocery Outlet was building 3 stores a year, if that, 2 to 3 stores. They weren't really a high growth company. And really another store, you wouldn't get a store unless someone retired, really, because people stayed forever. It was like, once you get into this was like the best kept secret, right? And if you were invited, it was really hard to get in, for one. And if you almost had to be invited, or someone had to recommend you to get in. You couldn't just, really, we didn't have much of a recruiting because it was almost word of mouth only. And so we interviewed, and the interview process takes 6 months. Back then it took 6 months of a lot of personality tests, because you have to make sure a husband and wife can really work in 4 walls together.
Oh, is that what they want too? Is a husband and wife?
They prefer. I mean, we've kind of gone a little bit away from that. We have some singles. But me, I don't know. It would be really, really hard to I think it takes 2 people, honestly. So you can have a father-daughter or father-son. I see a lot of that now.
There seems to be like a family dynamic.
But they want the family dynamic because in your community, that just resonates through your community, right? If you're family owned and operated, people are more
supportive.
Yeah, supportive, but also like you're able to be the face of the business, where a store manager, like when I was a store manager or director of, you're so like office work and just writing schedules and cutting hours and it just didn't give you you could give your customers as much service as you want, but you couldn't do it at the level you can do it in this model. This model allows, like, I'm out there bagging groceries, right?
Yeah.
For people. I'm cashiering. I'm getting cart runs.
You're restocking.
And the customers stop you all the time. They just want to chat. Because they just know you as Jeremy and Amy at the Grocery Outlet, And so if you treat people good and like family, like if you just treat people who shop our store like they're our family, price doesn't matter. I don't think price matters at a certain point if you give good service.
Yeah.
And that was the other part of, I didn't feel previous companies I worked for allowed us enough to give the best service. They demanded good service, so they wanted you to give good service, but sometimes you just didn't have they wouldn't allow you the payroll to allow that what one extra body could do to greet people or just not be in such a hurry. Changes the whole dynamic of your small business, whatever it is. I think any small business, whatever it is, because it's all about, I believe it's all about relationships with your customers or whatever it is. So, you know, and when people see how Amy and I and the kids are there now, they work for us full time. So, you know, it truly is now a family run business, which is what we've always wanted. We didn't know if that's what they wanted, but it is what we wanted. The dynamic even changes more, right? Because now we have 4 points of contact instead of just 2. And sure, I could have ran this by myself and hired an Amy, right? Hired you, taught you how to do some, you know, whatever. And but would the store have the same dynamic?
No,
because it's just a job to the other person,
right?
So we try and make it not just a job for all of our employees, you know. And so we're like, take the time with the customers. I'm not going to like walk by you and make you stop.
Yeah, like, hey, stop talking so much.
We got lots to do.
Yeah.
No, we'll just go pick up the slack elsewhere. And allowing your employees that time to stand there and chit chat is
that's all it takes.
And nobody allows that.
No.
And it's just, to me, that was just retail 101. But I was never really allowed to do that anywhere else. So,
it's still like that now. I feel like it's even gotten worse nowadays. I mean, I shop at Costco, Lowe's, or Home Depot, and out of those 3, and these are big box stores, Lowe's and Home Depot, I don't get the assistance or the time or the conversational thing or education.
Right.
Where if I go to Costco, I do get that time. And I get it. It's a member paid only. But I'm still going in and I'm asking questions or I'm curious about a product or whatever. They take their time. There's no like, I got to go get this done. I got to go do all this. And they all communicate with each other.
That's why Costco has been successful for many years.
And you ask them a question and they know the answer. They don't give you, I'm not too sure.
Right.
And then they don't even answer it. They at least go and find someone else to go and find that question out. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when I go somewhere. If you don't know the answer to something and you tell me you don't know and you don't try to figure it out, you're not going to get a thank you out of me. You're not like, I'm not happy. I'm now annoyed.
And why would you come back?
Why would I come back?
Right.
I appreciate more of the people's like, you know what? I don't know. Let me go find out, or let me call someone and get this information for you.
Yeah.
And you're still showing effort that you're trying to give me the attentiveness that I need because I'm about to spend money.
Right.
Right. But time, people don't have the time for it.
Right.
And it's for 2 factors. It's one, maybe they have someone that's, pressing on their neck, or they just don't care.
Right.
They're there for just a job.
Well, yeah, that, or just they haven't put themselves in a position where time's important, right?
Oh, right.
I mean, I think, like I said, somewhere in my years and years of retail, that one experience, that 1 year where I lost time. I completely lost time.
Yeah.
Was like, I don't have another year to waste there, so I can't do this again.
Yeah.
And it really it was rough because I was getting paid really, really well.
Dang.
I left a pretty good paying job with good benefits to go somewhere else and make pretty good money at the time. And we're talking, we've been here 16 years. So, I mean, this had to have been I was in my late 20s. So, I mean, this was 25 years ago. I learned the value of time on an early age. And most people don't learn that time until
something
later
tragic
age.
Right.
And that's when we go, oh shoot.
Yeah, something tragic happens right. Hits you in the face.
Yeah. And so that's, like I said, that I feel I was lucky to learn
early on
a quarter, a third of my life, in the first third of my life, right?
Yeah.
To learn that and that's what attracted us to Grocery Outlet. Is like, maybe I can make more time because I'm in charge of my time and I'm in charge of how we do things. We have like guidance, but we're not held to any standards per se for how we run our business. You run a clean store, full in stock, and you give good service. After that, what is there?
Yeah.
There really isn't anything after that. So the amount of hours I spend or the amount of money I pay my employees helps create time, and And it took years. I worked a lot. Amy and I worked a ton in the first 5 years trying to build the business. And once it got going and you get a staff, which we've had our staff for most of it 10 plus years. Most of them have been there 10 plus years.
Wow.
Nobody leaves, right? So if nobody leaves,
right, you're doing something right.
But they continue to grow with you also. So the job gets easier and you allow more time.
More desirable.
Time. And actually, then they try and give you more time. Your staff's like, hey, you're here. You don't need to be here. You can go home, take off for the day or whatever.
Wow.
So it gets to the point
your
where
values.
you give them time and we allow them whatever time off they need. We've never really denied anybody time off. And so, because their time's valuable also, their time off and needs are valuable also. So like I said, it just comes down to time over money. We all need money. We all need to survive.
Right. But at the end of the day, time is still a factor you have no control over. You can't go back.
None.
You can't go forward.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. It's,
Yeah.
We're on borrowed time.
The clock's ticking.
The clock's ticking
all day long, every day. So.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what led us here. I mean, we took the plunge. And
so Yuba City specifically was.
No. Wow. So what's funny is, we lived in Astoria and you have to train in a store. Well, there's no stores 2 hours from Astoria. An hour and a half is the closest store. So we had to pick up our family there and we moved to Tigard, Oregon, which is just an outskirts of Portland.
Okay.
On the edge there. And we moved in a little duplex there and went to training. And we trained for about 3 months of training. And training is usually 6 months to a year. It could be as little as 4, I would say. If you're really like gung-ho and the training program now is probably a good solid 6 months before you're ready to go. But back then the training was not as extensive as it is today.
Right. Is it because there's more stores now?
More stores,
and more expectations?
We're just trying to set up people to be successful. Where back then you're running a business.
Yeah.
Go learn everything you can. And when you're ready, you're ready. And so it's funny because our first store we applied for was Yuba City.
Okay.
Our training store operator, who's Tony up there in King City, is like, nobody ever gets their first store. So just this is practice for building a business plan. And you have to write these 10, 12, 15 page business plans is what you write and why you're the best pick. What demographic are you going after? How much marketing? I mean, it's pretty extensive, cash flow and this and that. They want to see if you are set up for success before they
right. Do you have the mental capacity for it? Do you have the support system? Yeah.
And so we just did a business plan. We didn't even travel down here. We didn't even know where Yuba City was, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's kind of wild.
It's California.
It's California.
How bad could it be, right?
Yeah, right.
It's good everywhere.
It's not raining like it does up there. And so they called us one day and said, you guys are going to Yuba City. And we're just like, look at each other like,
the fuck?
Where's that? Honestly.
You didn't even get on Google at that time, did you?
No,
pull out the book.
I think it was like Wikipedia we pulled up or something back then. I mean, this is like, and so
that's crazy.
Go home and tell the kids we're moving to Yuba City. And they're like,
we're moving to California.
They're like, where's that? But they're, young at the time. They were kind of flexible at that moment. We thought that was a good moment for probably the timing was that because Taylor's 6th, 7th, 8th grade or something like that is why we're like, kids are still a little flexible. And, once they get into middle school or even into high school, it's kind of harder to move kids around. I feel, but, so we packed everything up and into pods and sent it all down here and, got in our cars over New Year's. But then at least I know next time how I could probably prepare myself better or spend the time at home maybe planning my day rather than going, I'm in a hurry. I want to get to work. I just need to get to work. But Amy has a routine too, and her routine's completely different than mine in the morning. And if anybody knows Amy, she's a full routine person. And like to the T, and that's probably why I'm so routine also is because we both have separate routines, but we have our own routine.
Yeah.
So we're not forcing each other into each other's routine. I'm not trying to hurry her up, but I think she gets hurried when she knows like I'm in a hurry because I need to get to work or I feel I need to get to work. And then vice versa. Like if she had to wait for me, then I'm throwing her routine off.
Oh, I see. And
we're very routine. Like, and especially now we're nobody at home. Our daily lives are very routine, it seems like. So, but yeah, I walk to work every day.
That's crazy.
And it's going to go on another year. And, I keep thinking about buying a truck just so I have it for those days.
Yeah. And
I probably will. I think sometime this year, by the end of the year, I feel I want one, but I don't know if I'll drive it. I'll just put it in the garage and look at it.
Yeah. Well, if you just look at it. You know what's funny? That's very normal in my culture. Like they buy the brand new car. They don't want to put a lot of miles on it. They just have it there. They still drive their own little beater. And when there's like a party or a family gathering or whatever, they'll come out just to kind of show it off. But other than that, it's just there in the garage.
I mean, my last 2 vehicles I bought, in the 4 years I owned them, I only put 7,000 miles on them. So I don't drive anyway. So again, there was no real reason. I should just get a Vespa and just drive.
You really should. I was going to suggest that. Or have you seen those little like Japanese or like Korean trucks?
Right.
That you get them like literally, it's so cute. And it's so fun. Like if you're going to get something fun that you're going to ride around in.
I don't think so.
No. A Vespa?
I don't know.
Come on. I would. I looked into it for a period. Because it's like just driving from here and there. Like I could take I took a motorcycle class just so I can feel comfortable enough if I can do it. And I passed my motorcycle class and I looked into the Vespas and just financially wouldn't work out. But I do want to do that eventually. I'm like, I don't care. It's fun. Yeah. I want something fun for my little A to B going to town stuff. But for work, I have a more reliable car. Yeah. But yeah, why not? Like, fuck it. Like you only live life once.
Just keep it simple.
But keep it fun too, But everyone will know that's you too in the Vespa, right?
With my little like helmet on it, little like
yes. Dude Kaboom. Was it from Toy Story? Yes. Oh. Well, yeah. I mean,
so that's been a venture, walking.
What have you learned? Like, because you're paying attention to your surroundings more, right?
100%.
You are familiarizing with these new environments that you don't pay attention to while you're driving. And do you see the same people over and over, or like
every day? There's a group of walkers out there. There are people who walk every day, walk their dogs. A lot of people walk their dogs, of course. But there are the same people, and what's funny is I don't know if it's just. I'm a say hi to everybody kind of guy. And sometimes it takes people a little while to feel comfortable to say good morning back or hello to you, because you're a stranger on the road walking and I dress decent. I don't look like I don't belong. And I have my coffee cup and, I'm just trudging along at a pretty decent pace and I'll say hi to everybody.
That's good.
If they're in their garage, I'll say hi. If they're mowing their lawn, I say hi. And so my goal is to get people to, at first was like, I need to break these people somehow. Somehow they're uncomfortable saying hello to their neighbor, and to me, I'm like, I'm their neighbor. I live in their neighborhood and, it's just a hello. I'm not asking for a hug, or a high five or anything, but, so that was a good transition, and yes, your surroundings. I mean, there are you run into some people that are a little sketch, you run into them. And so you kind of have to like, do I cross the road here and kind of just, dodge a bullet? Yeah. I don't know, but most of those people I walk by and I still say hi to or good morning to. And I think it's because I don't think anybody says good morning or hello to them anyways. And so part of it, it's like even some of the homeless people come through our parking lot. I still say good morning to them, or I still say hello to them.
Yeah. You acknowledge them.
But I also say, hey, you need to move on though. Yeah. This isn't a camp out. You can't camp out here. So, could that one hello really mean something to that person who hasn't had a single person talk to them and could mean days or whatever. So I don't know. I kind of always made it a point to say hello and not act like I'm scared of them. Maybe that
Or stay in each other's lanes. Just ignore each other.
Right. Yeah. At least
I agree.
hello. And, I mean, I've said hello to some pretty sketchy people. I can tell you that. Where I'm
I can imagine.
But most of them say hello right back or good morning right back.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's different. So yeah, you learn every pothole. You learn every crack in the sidewalk. And
you know when something is not normal, like what happened here.
You know when everything. You know when a car's out of place. I mean, you start to learn. Why is that car out of play? And of course, then I start thinking, well, why'd they park their car there? It makes no sense. So you learn all the weird quirkiness stuff.
Yeah, you pay attention to the details.
And then, like I said, I've tried and do a little blurb for the store, and at first it was just to kind of break my own shell, because I'm not very like, this is huge for me to do this, because this isn't like normal for me. But I've had lots of people ask me to do interviews and stuff like that, and I usually decline it and say, no, it's not my thing. Sorry. I'm not very.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I'm not very good at talking.
Oh, we could yap all day.
So I've tried to do it to break, try and break my shell. And so my very first Jeremy on the Walk video was just like, good morning, it's nice out. You guys, everybody should be out walking with me right now. It's nice. And then that turned into like 50-cent eggs, and that turned into a fiasco. Everybody's buying eggs. I mean, we were selling 1,000 dozen eggs a day.
That's awesome.
Couldn't even keep them in stock. And so that was
I saw your post, like, we're getting more in.
Because people are beating the doors down for eggs. I'm like, how many eggs can you eat really in a day?
Oh, I don't know. 6. But I'm like, for me, 6. I love eggs. Love them. If I could have chickens, I would, but stupid dogs.
And then the flag, I just like
the flag.
I love the flag. Anytime and I'm working on something, a future post, which is there's lots of flags in Yuba City, and I think I'm going to come up with a post for the flags of Yuba City.
I think as you walk around too, snap some pictures, some videos of you, and kind of pinpoint them where they're at. So, good. You got a folder of all the different flags.
Yeah, working on it. So. Because I think that's important to all of us, or it should be. And even someone the other day, because my video ended with the flag actually on the little breezy morning. It's nice when it's actually waving behind you.
It's beautiful.
And one of my old bosses was on there. He's like, man, the flag over your shoulder is classic. He's like,
it's so good.
You can't,
Yeah, you can't beat it.
You can't. And so to me, that's always been that should be important.
It is important.
It's important.
I agree.
And I have one, like I said, there's one right at the very end of my walk every day, which is the one I usually feature all the time, because it's just easy.
Yeah.
I've had 30 minutes of thinking, so I know what I'm going to talk about. And it's kind of easy to just recap my walk and round the corner back into work, type thing.
Post and go. Yeah. I, when we moved from Sacramento to here, and this is before we put in an offer on our house, we drove around town. We drove around what was the shitty part of the Yuba City area, drove through the nicer parts of Yuba City. We drove through like the farmyards area just to kind of see what that looks like. And a lot of American flags, and that made us both feel it's wild.
I don't think people notice them either. Like,
no,
I think there's 25 on my walk.
25.
Yeah, and someone put a new one up the other day, and you notice when the new ones go up too, which is
crisp.
Cool. So
nice and crisp.
And some are so simple, just simple, like the right on the side of the house.
Yeah, you got the flagpoles. What type of flagpole they use?
I watched a lady have a full flagpole installed at her house. It took a week, but she had the whole thing installed, and so
they got to be wind resistant.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's they're more abundant than we think, because I don't know if maybe we just take for granted that they're there, but after walking for a year and really starting to notice, and honestly, I really started to notice more so in the last 3 or 4 months, how many there are on my walk.
That's amazing.
And so then you're like, oh, wow, I didn't even notice that one there. I've been walking this way for, my face head to the ground the whole way or something.
A lot of us are. When we walk here or we're looking down all the time, it's like, no, look around. Pay attention to your surrounding. Listen. Yeah. Observe.
Yeah. No, it's
for some people it can be very uncomfortable, because it's like, I need to comfort. I need my phone. I need something in my ears all the time. I need some sort of distraction all the time. But
yeah,
when
I don't even listen to anything anymore. I put my AirPods in to keep my ears warm, honestly. They keep the wind from blowing in my ears, so that's it. And I can hear better, actually. They're like almost magnifying.
I think the AirPods do serve as like a hearing.
I can hear people come up behind me, or I can. So I don't even listen to anything.
You just have them in there.
Just have them in there. Yeah. I used to. I listen to Crime Junkies. I like Crime Junkies.
Oh, okay.
But for the last few months, as I've planned out what I was going to say, it's easier space to just be clear-minded and think while you walk. Otherwise, I do get distracted. I was finding I was getting distracted listening to whatever I was listening to.
Yeah, you need that noise.
But that 30 minutes, it's almost better.
But some people have a very hard time doing that just for 5 or 10, like sitting in the sauna for 15 minutes. Like you can tell who can sit in there for 15 minutes without their phone, and you can tell who can't because their phone is literally glued to them right here inside the sauna.
Yeah,
where it's hot.
That can't be good for the phone.
Not for the phone, right?
Or the person.
Oh my God, or the person. Yeah. I value the outdoors so much that if I'm driving, I'm happy because that means I'm not on my phone. I'm not in front of my computer. I'm not talking with other people to create engagement or whatever. I am on the road focusing on that, and I can pay attention to my surroundings, my environment or whatever, have conversations with someone or whatever. And then when I'm out photographing or traveling, I'm not on my phone. I'm not on anything but my camera, and I'm paying attention to my surroundings and paying attention to little details. I don't know if you've gone hiking out like Folsom Lake. I like to go there once in a while. And I'll bring my phone with me, but I don't have anything else on me other than my water or whatever. And I just stop. I stop and I look around in like little sections at a time. And you can just see so many little bugs moving around, the little birds moving around. You can hear like animals are brushing through. And it's just like, if people can literally go outside for at least 45 minutes and stop and slow down, go in your backyard, literally look up at the sky. You'll see so many birds flying. You'll see the skies moving. The clouds are moving. I mean, it's not that hard, but it is hard for some people.
It's hard. It's hard for people. I think.
Like as you get older, you start having more time on your hands. And what are you going to do with that time? I think that's where a lot of people fall into bad habits or I don't know, like almost like deteriorate because they don't know what to do with that time. Right.
Because yes, I see that. Where if you're a phone person on your phone all day, and there's a generation of them. I mean, some of it's a generation. We grew up without phones, really. I think I had a pager, at one time, but really I was an adult with kids before I probably had my first cell phone, really. So, because they just weren't a thing back then, and especially with what's on them now. I mean, how convenient they are. I get it because everything's on there. I mean, you watch TV. I mean, you don't even need it. Everything's on there. So put the phone away. Yeah. Easier said than done, though. It really is. I mean, because they are very convenient.
Yeah.
I get
you could tell the ones who can do it and who can't do it. And the ones that can do it, cannot do it is just kind of like, it's at the end of the day, like when you die, that phone's still going to keep ringing. Right. You're still going to, they're going to move that phone number to someone else. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, be more present in the moment. Yeah. Spend the time with the people that you want to spend time with. Yeah. Explore, adventure, get out there. So do you and Amy travel quite a bit?
I mean, off and on. I mean, I don't say we're big travelers. I don't think we set enough time aside for that but we do like, I think we're more of like a weekend getaway type. Getting away from the store mentally to us, it can happen. It can work. The store will run just fine without us, as we did recently. We went out of town for a week. Yeah. And that's honestly the longest we've been gone from the store, and I don't know how long, but a good 2-3 days here and there is fine with us. We like to roll over to Tahoe or to Napa. I mean, little short trips are just getaways.
It's a great thing about California. You can do that.
You can do that, and you can you can go some pretty amazing places. We enjoy our hikes with our friends. We have a group of friends that like to hike, so we like to do that. We try and make a point of doing that more often. Good. So we like that. Like it's a day trip, big deal, but it's a day away.
Yeah. Breaking a routine, doing something outdoorsy, adventure.
Yeah, just kind of getting you out of the routine, I would say, because we do go to stores 7 days a week. I mean, but again, we're not chained to it either. Right. So we go there because we want to, not because we have to.
Yeah, and that's a difference.
And so we like to just pop in on Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday we like to work because our son's there, and it's kind of a minimal staff, and we can kind of get some projects done without too many distractions. And then Sunday we like to just pop in, and then Amy and I go have brunch somewhere, or we'll go home and cook dinner or breakfast or something, and just kind of hang out in the backyard. And to us, our backyard is our getaway. We sit in the backyard.
We put so much time and effort into it
all the time. We love sitting in our backyard, and we did it yesterday. We were out there for 4 or 5 hours in the evening.
Wow.
Till the first mosquito came out, and it was like, okay, we're out of here. Yeah, we're done with that.
So there's these tubes. We had to drive all the way to Nevada to get these tubes, and it's mosquito repellent. Okay. And we live near rice fields, so we get an infestation of mosquitoes. So we bought these tubes, ordered them through Home Depot, picked them up there in Nevada because you can't get them in California, and they work amazing. Okay. I'll send you the link for it. They put all these warning labels like don't consume. It's like, well, no shit. It's like a repellent. It's for mosquitoes. Right. But it's like a chemical in there that is not allowed in California. But it works great.
Of course.
So we brought it over. I mean, if fucking government hears this.
Yeah.
But it works great. I'll send it to you. We were speaking of hanging out in the backyard, we're remodeling our home. And the backyard is one of the projects we're working this year. And the backyard is one of the biggest one. We got a pergola. We're redoing the landscaping. We're doing like a Tahoe, Sierra Nevada style.
Nice.
And as it's like evolving, it's becoming much harder to get away from home.
And that's the thing. If you kind of can make your own home away from home type, backyard where, we have our music out there. We have our fountain that runs. We have the pool in the summer when it's hot, and just jump in, jump out, and play cards. We play cards a lot with each other. So I play some card games and just kind of chill.
Just hang out. That's all it is. Spending quality time together.
Yeah. Because sure, we could drive down to Napa every weekend and hang out too, but
still making the drive.
Yeah.
I wish there was a train, man, waiting on that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. I think that the tracks are there. It's just the train isn't there yet.
We'll see.
Well, thank you for coming on. I feel like, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or anything that you'd like to share? I feel like we barely scratched on marriage, but we kind of started that on pretty strong on your guys' just cobweb of just how each dynamic in the marriage has been at a very young age, and it's still going strong. Like, what is the whole success to this? I've been with my husband for 16 years. We're both,
which is good.
Since we were 17, and we were each other's first everything.
Same
everything.
Same
and
here.
And only, and I genuinely thank God every day for him. He is, and I'm sure he would say the same thing about me, but it's just like, I did not have the most perfect environment, and you did. And the fact that you can show me that speaks volumes.
It's, like I said, it takes a team. It takes two people, and you really have to, and it takes work. I'm not going to say it's easy.
Right.
You can make it as easy as you'd like to. Let me just put it that way. You can make it as hard as you want.
Right. I think it's fun. We've been having fun.
Absolutely.
Being married
especially like remodel. Like you guys have done the remodel work, which is crazy to watch.
We've learned that can cause divorces.
I believe it.
I'm like, you're kidding me over this? People divorce over
lunch together. Amy brings lunch every day. So, we sit and eat lunch together. And then we just get our day done and go home and chill.
And hang out more together.
And that's the thing. We go home and hang out together again. So, like I said, I wouldn't do it any different.
Yeah.
And how it's been is exactly how it probably was planned out to be.
Yeah.
And I think with the person that, I don't think back in high school, Amy ever would think of dating me, like honestly back then.
Really?
Like I think we just kind of, her friend and my group, we were all kind of acquaintances and friends, but then just one day our friend goes, hey, so-and-so mentions he likes you, and Amy's like, who? Type thing.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of how it went. And we always say that that's how she got us together, back in high school, and said, Jeremy's been kind of quizzing me on the way to school every morning about you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he's curious.
And so it was just meant to be, I guess, I guess it was, we've had fun from day one. I can't even, like I said, once we started dating, I never really looked back, I would say. And it was kind of we were on a mission from there on. We were going to hang out for a long, long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
Even in the grave.
And now it's now it's looking like forever.
It's amazing. That's great.
But no, it is. It's fun. Like I said, it's like I said, it's what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And always just make time for each other.
Always.
Time's important.
It is. From having this conversation with you, it makes you look at time in a very different perspective where, like you said, you've been working a job where time was not in your control, and you've essentially, now you have control of your time.
Right. And
that is the way you're spending it. That's the best way to do it, and how you perceive it. Really good lesson learned.
Yeah. It's like I said, I was lucky to learn it, I say, in an early age.
Yeah.
And I tell people this story all the time. I was put in a position getting paid a really, really good salary, but I was robbed of a whole year of time. And if I would have stayed another year, I would have been robbed of 2 years of time. If I would have stayed there 5, there's people still working at that job that have been there that I worked with, because money became a trap. They paid you so well, you didn't have
money
a choice.
Money became a trap.
Yeah.
It still is a trap till this day. If you focus only on money, you are trapping yourself.
I learned that money was a trap back then because I was always chasing a higher salary, because that's going to better my life, right?
But what life if you're not going to spend the time with it?
Right. And so this one job that led me to the pot of gold, I say, taught me there's something more than this. There's more than money. It's time, and time. And like I said, I can talk about that all day long, but it's a pretty simple thing. You can either live comfortably and live a good life and have time, or you can just be locked down trying to make an extra few bucks.
Yeah.
And in the end of it, we all are running out of time. Yeah. And it doesn't matter, We're
running out of time on the time that we're borrowed.
Yeah.
It's like time is, we're on borrowed time.
And I don't want it to run out, right? And so making time with Amy,
that's a scary part.
Right? You don't want it to run out, per se, but it's going to.
Yeah. And
so how do you make the best of your time with that person that you want to make the time with?
In the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And so moment. That's, if there's anything, I'm grateful I learned that early on and not learning it right now. Because a lot of people, I think, start to learn that in their late 40s, early 50s, maybe even 60, maybe even close to retirement. They're like, oh, shoot, I'm really out of time.
Yeah. Well, because now that time is presented to you.
Right. And so I think some people, unfortunately, don't learn the lesson early enough to go, if I just live a little more less luxurious, or maybe maybe not make it so important to me, I can have more time. And that's more time with Amy and I, or our kids, or our grandkids. That's important also. Having a new grandbaby is pretty amazing. You don't really think it is,
No.
Me, because I'm kind of like a pretty dry guy. Most people know that. Sure, oh yeah, I'm gonna have your grandpa. But when it actually happens, it's pretty freaking cool, man. Yeah, the kid's a cool kid, and we're going to have a lot of good times together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my other sibling or my other child will have one here when time's ready for that for them. And then I'll have 2 at least. Yeah. If not 3 or 4. Who knows how many, but just pile them on.
They're going to keep you busy.
I'll take all the grandkids. They can just hang out at our house and just have fun.
Yeah.
And time will allow it.
Share that time with them.
So,
Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
See?
Sorry I ran the clock.
Oh, yeah. You're like, I don't think we'll have much to talk about. Here we are over an hour. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing your life, your guys' journey, your adventure with me, and for everyone else to hear it. I think this is why I enjoy doing this, is because it pulls me out of my own routine. Because what I would be doing right now is my face would be in front of a computer.
Right.
Editing, updating my website, doing shit that honestly is a necessity, but it's not that much of a necessity. We're here. I can be learning more about my community. I can be sharing their stories.
Right.
Even if I got 3 or 5, 10 listeners, whatever, those are still ears that are listening to this and processing it and allowing them to see life from a very different perspective. Because that's what I love to do is I like to listen to other people's stories, look at things in a very different perspective. I want my brain to be shaken every time and have it growing and learning, because I don't want to be so narrow-minded.
That's good, because that was my curiosity. I was like, who wants to listen to me? Like,
you'd be surprised.
But, I was like, well, I'm going to do this just to break out of a
routine.
A routine.
Yeah, you should break your shell. Yeah.
Break the shell that I've always been kind of a, what do I really have to say type thing,
Well, it's like that concept of you walking and not saying hi to then saying hi. You're breaking that habit, right? You're trying to reconnect that human connection. It's the same thing here. Right. We're just having conversations where I feel like in society, we can't have that anymore because we're tiptoeing around different topics. Like, we don't have to talk about those things.
No.
Like, we're on a train. I will talk to someone and ask them about their train experience here or whatever, or like what are they about to go do or whatever. There's so much that we can all connect with. It doesn't have to be the hottest topic on the news or whatever.
Right.
There's so much more. Once you unplug from that, there's so much more. So much more.
Absolutely. Yeah. None of that's even necessary. It's going to happen regardless of what you think.
It's been going on.
Yeah. And there's nothing you or I or anybody around us can possibly do to change it.
Nothing. No. So why not start environmentally? Your surroundings. Maybe learn about that. Grow with them.
Absolutely.
Lean on them.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would fix a lot of problems if we all focused on something other.
Yeah. Something other. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm all done. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. I'll take the microphone from you.
Yeah.